Okay. And this time I'm going to talk. Sonic and Knuckles collection. Should probably just stick it to Sonic 3 since that's the one that has the most changes in this thing. Also gives me a chance to show off my MIDI Windows XP throwback machine with this sick Mega Man X5 theme. Most people do streams under retro name. That would be kind of neat. Looking at the Discord chat here. That would be something I think should probably be set up. And I would definitely want to partake in that, but obviously I have not really been doing that a lot lately. That is an idea. So as far as I know, this should be streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, but unfortunately I'm not going to have a good way to see who's talking. So my apologies if I'm going to miss something. I'm going to try to set up my phone so that I can at least keep an eye on things. Okay, that's showing that it's live. I'm just going to give it a few minutes and also to just make sure that I have some people watching here. Okay, that's that. And then if I pop over here... Huh. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably... Yeah, I think Twitch says Sonic the Hedgehog. We are not playing the original Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's close enough, I guess. Here, let's see. I could probably set that up real quick, actually. While that's happening, I'll go ahead and bring this back up. Good old Sonic screensaver while we wait, because I want to try and set this up here. And also, just to check out general audio. Sonic 3. I'll just stick it to that. I was actually checking to see if we could probably do something like just stream the screensaver for 24 hours as a chill hip-hop server. But initially, it seemed like people were just getting confused, like, what the hell is this? So now both versions of the stream should be saying Sonic 3, so there's that, and I don't think it's going to... I don't think it's really going to pull that many numbers since tonight has been especially exhausting, but it'll be there tomorrow. And we're probably not going to do a whole lot to like edit the stream. Mainly because I don't have a good setup right now for any of my video stuff, which is part of why I have not been streaming. So yeah, that thing saying chill stream test. It's probably going to keep saying that. Because earlier it didn't even look like it was actually changing. It Didn't look like it just wasn't really changing the name of the stream. For perfect. I'm just looking at the earlier Twitch chat that was going on for the stream earlier. But yeah, there's actually a surprising number of people in the Twitch version of the chat, which is kind of weird, but I think it's just because it's me looking at the stream on two different sources. I think... Yeah, this seems like it'll be okay. I'll try to periodically check the chat, see what's going on here. In the meantime, this is, I guess, just a random live stream because I've just been wanting to do one of these for a while and haven't had a chance to do so. But it seems like people check out these videos well after the stream is done because I don't really do a very good job of advertising the stuff. But we're going to make it kind of a short one. It's a Sonic & Knuckles collection, just Sonic 3. Because it's a little faster that way. And, not sure how to introduce this stuff. But anyway, hi, hello. You may have not seen this channel do a whole lot this year, and I'm not happy about that. Mainly because I had since moved out from where I was living at, and now live in a house full of other people, which has been kind of liberating because now like it's a two-story house and I almost have the upstairs all to myself, save for a couple of roommates that are kind of living up here, but that's all right. They still let me carry my entire game collection up here, and it's insane. But anyway, I'm just decided to do the Sonic 3 here on the PC because I've been wanting to do something with like the Sonic the Screensaver and see if there might be a way to set up just an endless stream of that, but it's been a little difficult to kind of get some of that stuff set up because my main laptop that I actually use is it got fried somehow. So now I'm just kind of making do with my main computer, which has been upgraded since and can be a little more capable when it comes to streaming. And of course, right off the gate, this game runs way too fast. The reason, and I'm going to try to make sure that the audio is not too loud, and if it's too quiet, I guess just let me know. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to make sure my phone's actually hopping in the chat here. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and full screen that. That's going to regulate the speed quite a bit. And the immediate difference is, yes, all the music is in MIDI, and if you're not, I'm sure there's going to be some people who aren't really familiar. There's some music differences due to some licensing and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and hop back in through Zone 3 here, because all the crazier changes are going to be in the later half of Sonic 3 here. And also, now I actually have this game displaying on both my streaming stuff as well as the laptop that I'm actually playing off of. So now I don't have to deal with input delay. But I am playing with a Gravis Gamepad Pro, because that's what you do with these old laptops. And I think I'll try one more time for these special stages, because there's a pretty obvious palette shifting problem that seems to be an issue with like every operating system or every version of Windows that I try to install this on. Like, this doesn't seem like it actually regulates. And one may be wondering, like, why am I just playing this on a Windows XP laptop when playing this on a more modern version of Windows, thanks to patches made by Kurama, that actually makes this run pretty well on modern machines, and it's just because I just want to, that's it. Also, I've been wanting to check out some of these older laptops, because certain games, not really Sonic 3 here, has significant trouble running. It's got a lot of trouble running on, I'm losing my train of thought because people are talking behind me. That's alright though. Because I also got lost. If I have to deal with input lag, then this gets very difficult to deal with. Perfect.
Sorry.
Just gonna eat in front of me, why don't you?
Just trying to create some ASMR effects.
Oh, shucks. Yeah, I kinda lost my train of thought here. Whoa. So yeah, there's pretty much like no real reason to come back to playing these old PC versions of these games. Especially since like you can just get Sonic 3 and Knuckles on Steam and it plays exactly as it should. But also, Sonic 3 is a little hard to come by on the different collections and digital platforms that they've been putting these games out on. These old Genesis and Mega Drive games. But one thing that is nice is with stuff like the Windows platform and DirectX, a lot of these console to PC ports starting to become a little more accurate with how they're supposed to run. Like, I even tried checking out like the DOS port of Mega Man X, and wow, it's practically not the same game. And then when they started converting stuff like Mega Man X3 over, like they skipped X2, but they got to X3, and that was on Windows 95. And it was pretty similar to the version that was on PlayStation and Saturn. And funny enough, that was the version, the only CD version that came out that came out in the US. Because we didn't get it on Saturn or PlayStation at the time in America, and that version didn't really come out until let's say the GameCube and PlayStation 2 X collections. Whoops. Whoa. I was gonna lose my shield anyway by hitting this guy or something. That was a close call. But yeah, one of the other main problems with these PC ports is controller support is not going to be the best. So with the Graphics Gamepad Pro, I only have like 2 buttons mapped. And that's mostly 2 buttons. The reason why it's 2 buttons is mostly just for the menus. Like, there's 1 button to advance and 1 to cancel in menu options. There we go, let's go for the big ring around. Because I really don't want to look at these special stages for too long, and I want to find ways to finish these levels as quick as I can. Oh, right, I forgot to do that. Now, let's see if I can do this. Ah. I feel like this conversation is a little more interesting than the stream right now. That's okay. I have no idea if any of this is picking up behind me. I've been getting a little more interested in getting these console to PC ports of the time, since a lot of these have a lot of significant differences. Oh, wait. There we go. Another one of these. I always have to check because I never remember. Let's see, I've been looking into like a lot of the Mega Man console to PC ports, including like Mega Man Legends, which is kind of funny because X5 actually has an ad for Mega Man Legends 2 on PC, and that version never came out in the US or probably even Europe. Whoop! Nope. Oh. Yeah, but I gotta go back now. Also, I kind of found, like, if you wanted to get, like, Mega Man X4, and it wasn't going to be on PlayStation, PC version doesn't seem like it's too bad, but it's also, really hard to find. Well, a lot of the PC versions are hard to find. But it's probably... those are also kind of obsolete now, since you could just get those games on Steam. And I do want to check out those X collections on Steam, because all I ever do is just play old games, because it's what I do now. Oh. But yeah, one thing to keep in mind, this is still Sonic 3, so some of these music cues are just going to come straight from Sonic and Knuckles instead. Despite that, this game still does seem like it plays pretty well, considering the conversion from the Genesis to Windows. And this is after Sonic CD had come out, which primarily used Dino libraries, and I assume had a DirectX version that came out. Okay, I need to... there we go. So, I don't think people really know what else has been going on around here, considering I've been mostly silent when it comes to, like, live streaming and doing anything for, like, retro and whatnot, because I did go to E3, and I did some article stuff for SEGAbits, But then after that, I've just been working on the game of the year of all years, which is Big's Big Fishing Adventure 3, which of course is still kind of the only thing I can really say about it is just it's still going. There we go. But yeah, unfortunately, that's pretty much all I can really say, is that it's been somewhat uneventful for anything that would be short-term, but other than that, just been kind of doing my thing. And like I said, I've been wanting to do more when it comes to these live streams. But I haven't had a proper setup for my live streaming stuff, as maybe kind of apparent with how this has been set up. Oh, I boxed myself out. There we go. But also I haven't really been able to test out my stream to make sure that it's actually looking good and all that other stuff, because I want to try and make this as high a quality as I can get in terms of video. And of course I like to use real hardware as much as I can. So while I could play, like, obviously like Genesis games on an emulator, that's not really the way I prefer it. I need a... There we go. Oh, that's just this, which I kind of need. So let's see. Kind of the main deal about Sonic & Knuckles collection, I guess, is that it, for the most part, uses a lot of the patterns and behaviors seen in Sonic 3 and Knuckles when they're combined together. But if you choose to play just Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, for the most part it just acts like it's just those games separate, or those games put together. So if I go down this spiral, jump here, I can skip all that and smack myself in the grasshopper. So I'm trying to find a monitor because it'll help kind of illustrate the differences between, like, just a stock Sonic 3 cart and Sonic and Knuckles and all that. Whoa. But yeah, there would be a pillar here if it was like Sonic and Knuckles. But, just like in Sonic and Knuckles, if I press against this and then jump, I just immediately hit it. So that's not something that happens in Sonic 3. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can do another quick fight on this boss here, but I'm just going to go for the lightning shield. But I need to be careful not to hit the flames. Ugh, well, that's not going to work. 2, 3... 4, 5. That's fine. Oh, well, one more will do it then. Bingo. I guess I'm still kind of used to playing this game as Supersonic for the most part. It's also a good thing that this makes use of Sonic and Knuckles, since it actually fixes a lot of bugs that were in Sonic 3. Like, sometimes Tails in Sonic 3 would not fly off if you were just playing as Sonic only. And my frame rate just went to shit for some reason. I think it's this level because it's shifting the palette constantly. Oh, let me... I don't know how loud or quiet this thing is, so I'm just going to try and turn it up a little bit. But this is significantly different from the Genesis version. So is this what's going to happen if the Taxman gets to the Sonic 3 port that everybody wants and loves? Oh, good. That psyched me out because I thought I missed one. In fact, I gotta go over here. Okay, I see something. Oh, okay, it's something over there then. Whoa. Just, ugh. Really not liking how jerky this looks right now. There we go. It's really not that hard. Oh, there we go. Music's a little loud. I'll try to turn it down a little bit some. But I just figured people would want to kind of hear that more than listen to me at the moment. I mean, so Sonic Prower in the chat wondering why Sonic 3D on PC didn't use MIDI and just use instead of just used CD audio tracks like the Saturn version did. And I figure it's just because, like, you know, since they could make use of the CD storage medium, they could just get away with doing that. And I guess they didn't want to run into an issue where they'd have to use, like, looping music. Like, using CD audio tracks. Because that would probably mean they'd have to, like, make some other changes to how the music works. And I guess they just wanted to go for something that would work with, just kind of work with how the system worked. I'm trying to remember, because I think it was also an external team that converted this collection, whose name I can't remember right now. That name might actually be on Sonic Retro's database. That's how much research I did, because it's really off the cuff right now. There we go. And of course, the same year that this came out, Sonic Jam also hit store shelves on the Saturn. So PC users only had access to technically one Sonic game, whereas on Sonic Jam they wanted to make it so that you get the entire experience on one whole CD. Only the Saturn can give you this kind of power. And I figured trying to do something like Sonic World on the PC during this time, like 1997, would be pretty tough, especially since like a lot of the PC to Saturn ports were always so crazy, because they pretty much wrote like 2 or 3 different versions of the game, like one that would make use of software rendering, one that would make use of NVIDIA cards that could render in quads, and maybe even like a direct 3D version. And then I guess after a certain point they just kind of gave up on making use of video cards that rendered in quads, because you know, basically like triangles kind of took over in terms of like rendering in the PC market. So that's why you saw Sonic R come out that just made use of Direct Draw, which is just a software renderer, and then Direct 3D, which is triangle based, not quad based like the Saturn is. And also Sonic R on PC had the benefit of running at a higher resolution, and they could add in other features like since, you know, the main game itself was pretty much done, so they just went and added in 4-player mode, and I also added in stuff like added in stuff like network multiplayer, which didn't work all that well as changing weather. But yeah, it's like just getting a lot of these console to PC ports to work right was always a challenge. And especially when it comes to like playing console games ported to DOS, that was a whole other nightmare for a lot of developers. Because they just couldn't, like those PC ports just could not run nearly as fast as their console counterparts. Like Mega Man X and like Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 for DOS. But then you get to like Earthworm Jim for Windows 95, or Mega Man X3, X4, and X5, all running at like fast frame rates, better controller support, thanks to like the DirectX API and things like that. Alright, let's not screw this up this time. This frame rate and this spinning balls kind of throwing me off, because it doesn't run well in this PC version. Oh yeah, and like a Sonic 3D Blast, they didn't even for the special stages, like they're completely different in PC compared to the Genesis and the Saturn versions. And I figured that was because they just could not get a lot of those. It's a sort of a port of the Saturn version, and I guess they didn't want to convert the Genesis stuff over the special stages. And then Sega Japan did the special stages for the Saturn version, which made pretty extensive use of the 3D capabilities of the system that I guess they just didn't want to convert over, and also PCs at the time could not run 3D games that well. And for a game that was primarily 2D, you wanted something that worked well and kind of be almost universally usable, because like by default the 3D Blast port on PC runs at 30 frames a second instead of 60, and I couldn't really get any of the 60 FPS settings to work until you made use of like Kurama's patch that came out like years later. And I think it's just because like the settings on the PC version of Blast just don't work too well. It's kind of funny because like I bought I skipped on 3D Blast for PC at the time, but I played the PC demo and did not care for it because I didn't like... I had a huge distaste of the game at the time. There we go. But, you know, like, I already had Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles on the Genesis, but I already got it Sonic Jam, because it's like, oh man, 3D Sonic, that's sick as hell. And then you had Sonic & Knuckles Collection, this thing, because I was like, oh, it's Sonic on my computer, and I can, like, play it on my dad's laptop that he had for work. And funny enough, I still have a lot of those Windows 95 and 98 laptops that he made use of for work, and depending on what game you play, it'll either run really well or very poorly. Like, playing games on the PC was kind of a dire situation. Unless you had something that was made directly for the PC, and even then, they were always just like, a lot of the time they were just playing catch-up to the consoles. Okay, Sonic, I don't know why you stopped there. Oh, I know why you stopped, because we can do this. Oh yeah, one benefit this does have over, like, Sonic Jam. If you get the speed shoes, the music properly speeds up, so that's probably another reason why they made use of MIDI. And Twitch just crashed on my phone, so I'm trying to use that to keep track of chat. With CD audio, you can't do that. In fact, in Sonic Jam, if you pick up the shoes, it plays a separate track dedicated to having like a sped up version of the music, because the Saturn can't quite sound like Genesis hardware, which is what it's already using to replicate the sounds. Sonic, stop. There we go. Because I don't want to go to the stuff on the right hand side, because it's just going to waste time. Oh, and of course, Sonic & Knuckles Collection in Western territories came with the screensaver, but not in Japan. You had to buy it separately. And I still like the screensaver quite a bit. Even though these days I prefer to have noiseless, like, themes and screensavers, because I just find that stuff kind of annoying. But when I have something like this XP laptop, I could just dedicate that to one machine that is strictly for just playing games and looking at old stuff, because I'm an old 32-year-old man that likes his nostalgia quite well, thank you very much. Anyway, I know what that means. Time for the other song. Frame rate's a little better too. But yeah, a lot of these sound effects in this game are pre-recorded, so while it has the benefit of not having to use something like a specific sound hardware like the Yamaha chip on the Genesis. Grab that. Gives me 50 rings since I don't need any more emeralds. Get Super Sonic out of the gate. He's got green eyes. But the one trade-off I notice is that the sound effects are kind of in low quality. This happened in like the PC board of Sonic CD as well, and I'm pretty sure it's like this in Sonic 3D Blast 2 on PC. Which, I did do a little bit of a playthrough of that, but it's incomplete, and I skipped like 3 of the levels. But, you know, if there's any kind of interest, I guess I can go play the PC version. Technically, there is a playthrough of the Saturn version just using an S-video cable, because again, I like using real hardware. But yeah, one of my regrets is that I do not have the box for this game anymore. Oh gosh, get on. Okay. That's such a bummer. I wish I took a little better care of my PC boxes. Because, like, I did keep the box for Sonic R, and that has, like, a folio, has a foil cover on the front that shimmers when you put, you know, shine light on it. And you can, I've unfortunately since detached the, foil cover, which is just a giant sticker that's on the front of the box. But for the most part, still looks fine. Box is still in great shape. And I've just been kind of on a kick of wanting to also just get a lot of these Sega PC ports, because some of these Saturn, a lot of these Saturn games that were converted to PC, those Saturn copies are kind of getting high in price, like Last Bronx. And like Virtualon as well, which has some proper LAN support. It's a little trickier to do with like an American Saturn, but I did somehow luck into a cheap copy of Virtualon, the Sega Netlink version, but not that beautiful giant jewel case that just kind of breaks when you just breathe on it. Haha, fools. So I've also been kind of thinking about doing more short-form videos, just something to kind of actually give more activity to the channel. Because we can definitely record some video games, let me tell you. But also, like, there just hasn't really been a whole lot else to go on. Like, this would probably be better if it was a short-form video. Because, you know, there's quite a bit to this port. And I definitely respect it. Of course, these days there are better ways to play these games. But to go over the changes, you would probably just need, like, 5 minutes of your time to just see what's different and what's unique about it. Like, we could make use of general MIDI or an FM synthesis for music. There we go. Last music change. And also, I just kind of realized I've probably been kind of skipping over the songs because I turned into Supersonic, and try to do that less often here. Because this is the last stage in Sonic 3. Whoa. Luckily with these guys, the Insta-Shield can break through their little spike balls. Ah. I don't know why I still think Sonic... Well, I know part of why I like Sonic 3 more than Sonic 2. Like, I still think the Sonic 3 sprite actually looks kind of cool, even though I guess I can kind of understand why people think it looks dorky. Oh, crud. Let's see. Not seeing a whole lot going on in these chats here. Oh, come on. What's going on? Of course, at the same time, I don't mind doing more of these relaxing streams. I do want to try and get people like, you know, David back on, talk more about the Gontraman, and all other sorts of crazy Sonic fan fiction writers and whatnot. And all the other people from Retro as well. We just haven't had good ways to like pick times for like streams. And I also think I'm not the most exciting person to listen to just by myself, but I at least know how to play this game, I guess. And get fire breathed and just shoved in my face. And my jump button's not, whatever, fine. It's my excuse anyway. Yeah, fine. Also, luckily, Sonic is pretty easy to cheese through if you just hold onto a ring. Let's see. I do also want to try and do video content for stuff that's not related to Sega, but, you know, since there is a good chunk of subscribers that are still somehow subscribed to this channel, which is pretty cool, but I'm sure a lot of you has kind of forgotten what exactly this channel is, because this channel is kind of all over the place when it comes to, like, what I do with it. But I think I can safely say that, well, actually I guess I can't, but I can hint at something cool might be happening in January. I don't know if it's going to be related to this channel specifically, but I guess we'll put up a proper update of like what could be going on when the time approaches. Ah. A bomb? I guess because I've played this game so much, it's literally just become some kind of white noise for me. Like, it's... like, when you get really good at Sonic games, it's kind of addicting to just keep playing it. But, you know, I kind of know where everything is in the game. There we go. There we go. Last act coming up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stream off. And for those who didn't really see the first two zones, not a whole lot is lost, because obviously this commentary is not really going to be really doing a whole lot of anything. But also I do want to try and figure out what it is that people want to watch, because, you know, some stuff's going to be more popular than others. How did I miss that? Ah! Keep forgetting about, oh god. That room in Sonic 3 is so different. Yeah, one thing is, like, I don't want to just, like... because, like, the one thing about having this as, like, a SEGA channel is that people come here for SEGA stuff specifically, and that's why I kind of worry if I were to, like, start, like, putting in stuff that's not related with that would likely just alienate a lot of viewers. Especially since, you know, I haven't really done a whole lot when it comes to like ROM hacks. Nice. ROM hacks or Sonic mods and stuff like that, which are amazing, but like a lot of the times that stuff came up, like just nonsense started getting in the way, making it really hard to just get up and just do a video or anything like that. But also because, like, you know, I'm trying to like advance in life and stuff like that. And unfortunately, this is gonna easily become the first thing that I have to kind of put by the wayside, because I'm just not gonna have time to put up something proper. And I don't really like doing stuff like emulation, because I could easily do that with this computer that I've got, but I feel like it's not quite going to be accurate to the way people would have normally have seen these games. Well, I am purposely getting a bunch of rings here, even though this next fight coming up would probably be more suitable than this, but we're just kind of here looking at the differences, and that's it. Also can't forget about that different Knuckles music, which is very strange. And obviously I do prefer just listening to the original music. Alright, watch out for that spike ball. Oh no! Alright, and now for the main difference for Sonic 3, the big arms fight with Sonic, which you don't really get with Sonic and Knuckles. Okay. I'm wanting this to end already because I'm just sitting on an ottoman and that's all I've been using for a chair and it hurts. Ah, I picked the wrong side. See? But if I insta-shield, I can land a hit in like that. Alright. Well, you know what that means. That's the end of Sonic 3, and very close to the end of the stream here. But yeah, I want to do more with, like, older PC games. There's a couple that I actually do want to do on the stream, which are fall among the console to PC stuff. Oh yeah, one of the other problems I've been running into with streaming is since I'm kind of having to pay for a different internet service here through Comcast, they've imposed upon us a 1 terabyte data limit And that unfortunately has been kind of a problem since we have like 5 people living in this house and plenty of guests that come in and out. So that means I am very limited when it comes to like downloading or playing games online or watching videos, and unfortunately that includes like streaming as well. Although I don't think uploading is too much of an issue. It's the download 1 terabyte limit that is kind of the problem. But I need to make sure that the stream's running and video's working and all that stuff, so I kind of have that running in the background as I stream. But yeah, it's just a lot of silly little things that kind of got in the way for like doing a proper stream. Brad Buxer, okay. Scroogio, oh. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick stream here, just to do something, because I have not done anything for this channel for a long time, and not exactly happy about that. But I want to try and work in like doing these random streams more often. But I might try to find different ways to justify doing live streams. And might even find a way to well, I do want to try and find a way to resurrect the old channel, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. But yeah, I guess that's going to go ahead and do it. I'm just going to go ahead and let this play out the rest of the credits here and call it a stream. So y'all have a good night. Oh, it's all pretty much done anyway. Alright. Thumbs up. Yeah. Sonic 3, 1994, or 7. 7. But yeah. We'll just let this run stupidly fast. And have Mega Man take us home. In fact, check this out. This is what I love about these stupid themes. So like, look down here, right? The recycle bin. Zero's helmet. Zero's alive, but then you empty the recycle bin. He dead. These are so dumb, but they're so funny. But unfortunately, we're going to kill this stream, and I will see y'all some other time, I guess. So, yeah. Y'all have fun. Thanks for watching.